Hello. Yeah, we just heard what NFTs can do for all these fancy projects that we also see here. So thank you, Holger, for introducing all the utilities. But now you might ask, yeah, but how does that work with loyalty for retail? And what can I do with it? I mean, this is so far away for so many people. So let's look into loyalty programs right now. Well, you might know these. Who knows these loyalty programs? Payback, Deutschlandcard, raise your hands if you know them. Are you also participating in them? Who participates there? Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is interesting because basically what we understand nowadays when we enter a supermarket and we are asked, hey, are you a member? Then we have our phone or we have a card represented and we collect points. And for these points, we are rewarded very often with scissors, knives, or even a pen. And sometimes we also get money back. And this is how loyalty works at the moment. But let's look deeper into this. If we see what benefits customers really demand, we see 42% are into this rational, like, yes, I want some money back, that's cool. But even more, look into emotional benefits or community benefits. And this is why more and more people now say that they are not really satisfied with what loyalty offers you. And I myself personally, I used to do this, but I don't do it anymore. It's not worth the time to get at some point some like, hey, you deserve 10 euros because you spent 1,000. And we also see this for the younger generation. Rates are dropping down and loyalty programs are not really bringing back the return of invest that we hope from them to get. Well, what could be the solution? If we like talk about loyalty, a loyal friend, what would he or she offer you? You want to trust them, you want some emotional benefits, and you want experiences. And as we just heard, there are options to do so. They're not working with the loyalty programs that we have seen at the moment, but we want more personalization. We want context, a user experience based on the data that we already deliver. And if we look into this, maybe we would also want to have them interoperable, so that we have one loyalty partner here, another one, but if we collect points there, we get into another program. It is already working with some. You see this, for example, with the airlines who are collaborating with other partners, and then they work together. And you want ownership, that you own your things, that you can trade them. We have heard about the community aspect. So maybe if I am now at the checkout and I say, yeah, I want this coupon, I can offer it to the woman behind me. But that's it. How cool would it be if I just collect rewards? I don't need them. I can give it to a friend. And of course, it's also cool to have some gamified aspects. You might know this from McDonald's Monopoly. Who was playing that one where you had to collect all the streets? Did anyone do this? Like collect the streets? Yeah, it was so much fun. I don't even eat at McDonald's, but I just went there to get these rewards. So it seems to work. And now the elephant in the room. Why should my company even invest into this? And what has this to do with the metaverse? What is in it for me? Why should I, as a retailer, even do this? And now we see this from Statista, and it's interesting because people most of the time say, yeah, this only works for gaming. If you're on Roblox, etc., it's great. But the predictions go very well for e-commerce. So it's not only at the point of sale that you want to create fans, that you want to turn your customers into fans, but you have it at every single touch point. And, well, last year we were sitting together. I just entered Avato Systems and we had this workshop. And consumer products, we had this nice workshop, and on their way back in the car, they were thinking about, yeah, okay, now we have heard about these NFTs, and it seems to be a lot about community and how community works. So we figured out how would it be like to create a prototype for an app where you can not only collect rewards, but then trade them with a friend. And very easy solution, what everybody knows, is a puzzle. You can put the puzzle together, and if you double one piece, well, then you can just give it to a friend, and maybe they need this missing piece to have a full collection. So we tested it last November at the Congress of Commerce. You must imagine it's a little bit different from here. There are all these people who have been in their jobs for many, many years. So words and terms like Metaverse, Web3, it was like, no, don't talk about this. This is just a hype. It will go away. But interestingly, when we showed them the app, it was more like, hey, how does that work? Oh, this puzzle. Oh, and it moves. And now I have a double. Oh, and I can give it to a friend. And in the end, they were rewarded with a t-shirt, but it could have been something else as well. And what we want to achieve with that, and this was a short snippet at an event, is like, how can the customer life cycle really be extended or in the end become a circle? And you see these different touch points that we have, this awareness, interest, desire, etc. But you might not even start with the brand itself, but with a friend who works as an ambassador by telling you, well, I have this puzzle, I need another piece, maybe you can start too and we can start trading. Then you start collecting, and if you really have something that you want to achieve, you will continue doing this, and you can be rewarded at very, very different touch points and then get access, for example, to token-gated shops or community, or be rewarded with physical goods as well. So you see, in the end, we create incentivation at different touch points, and they can be continued because we get to know our customer more. And if you're rewarded, for example, if they post something on social media or somewhere else, or if they go to an event, especially event, and they get something, well, then it might be more enhancing, and they can talk about their experiences. We see that we're not the first who are looking into this. Different brands are already testing it. Today, Wagner Pizza started. So very interesting to see. If you go to the Instagram, you can have a live launching of an NFT project that rewards you for posting on social media. For Prada, it was interesting because they integrated it into an already existing project with Time Capsule. This is a collection that was always launched once in a month, a physical piece, and you could only get it for 24 hours. And last year, they added an NFT. With the NFT, you had additional access to further collections, to future collections, and they also promised to gift NFTs to everybody who had bought in the past. Same goes for Clinique. They did a game where you could also win something. And interesting, we see Victoria Klisch here from Berlin, and she has the W3 fund, and they now start running a loyalty program as well. And I'm very curious, I was one of the beta testers to see how this works. I think it was very simple to use, very intuitive, which is always most important because we need accessibility for everyone. Everyone? Who knows Soapy Joe's car wash? Well, basically, it's a car wash in California. They have 17 different locations, and you might not connect them with something like NFTs. But, and this is the interesting part, because I always say, yeah, innovation is great, but you need numbers. Why should a company do that? And this is what they achieved in 2022 after just 2.5 months. They launched this project, kind of a scavenger, a treasure hunt, where when you went to the different locations, you get different NFTs. They told you, oh, you have been here, here, there, so you could collect all of them. In total, 10,000 NFTs were minted into 2,000 wallets. And they also saw an increase of their Web2 strategy. So increase in web users, increase of opening rate of the emails that were connected with the NFT project. After all, they found out that this campaign was very, very engaging and really led the customers to drive to different locations for the first time, which they hadn't been doing before. So now they connected numbers for a certain period of time to have an outcome and to really make it like valuable and see what we can achieve with a project. This is the most important thing, because many companies say, yeah, but I cannot invest like hundreds, thousands or $1 million into this project now. You don't need to. You can start small. You do not have to start like for the whole retail point of sale part or the whole online shop. You can start at small events, and then you can scale it and grow and see what your customers want. Fremantle, also part of Bertelsmann, have done that with American Idol. And it was very interesting because basically it is a utility token, which means they were not aiming at an investment opportunity, but they were aiming at really creating this engagement between the fans and the artist. How did that work? In the beginning, you could get NFTs that matched with your artist. If your artist was successful and got into the next round, these NFTs became more valuable because they led to the ultimate golden ticket in the end. So with putting your bet on the right artist, I would say, you could gain more and more with each week. What did that lead to? More engagement. People became very loyal and watching and really like with every bet cheering for their artist. And what had not been intended, people suddenly started trading it, which was very interesting. So they became more and more valuable, and it was interesting to see how coming from the community aspect, in the end, led to a new value, which we always call creator economy. So if you now put this on the app that I presented in the beginning, what we can add to this just trading part that is on a database so far. When you add the NFT, you can call it, for example, proof of experience. And these are different features that you can see with the product when the collectible is published, and then lead to all these different perks that you can unlock. You can be creative, it can be different perks. We have already tested it in Hamburg as well for a treasure hunt for the so-called Hafengeburtstag, harbor birthday. And it was very interesting because people did not even know that this was about NFTs. They just saw these little cute icons for fish. You could collect 4 different fish heads. And if you have collected them all, you could get a golden fish head. So just this little experiment, it took us about 4 weeks to get this done. And people were happy, and they have it now in their PoApp wallet. You can mint a PoApp here as well and get people interested, because then you have the additional information about the different sightseeings where they had to go, and you learn a lot about Hamburg and the history. So it also adds educational value. At RTL, I don't know, who has seen the Sissy NFT collection? Anyone? Nobody? Okay. Don't be shy. I just asked for, have you seen it? I myself bought it as well because I was so into these dresses. They were made by About Systems, by the way, so we could also participate in this whole project as a 3D object. What I found so interesting about this is like, how can a big, large corporate company like RTL get into the space without having a shitstorm? Because we didn't have one. We didn't promote this basically on Twitter or Discord, like the channels that you normally know, but mostly on Instagram and through the newsletter. And we described very precisely what people had to expect and what the utility is. So if you bought one of the dresses, we had 3 different varieties of rare, super rare, and normal. You could get access to a special set visit with the actors that you could only watch, and you got the 3D object. And now comes the interesting part. of the metaverse. Because if we do not only think in, does it have to be a physical object, but can the reward also be a digital object that I have on-chain and that I can trade? These assets can become valuable, for example, maybe, I want that dress, maybe, for example, in Fortnite. Might be very uncommon and unusual, but I always collected all these really cool dresses and for Fortnite because I like to show myself there. And we now already have different gamed metaverses like Roblox, Minecraft, and Fortnite. And yes, there is a value, especially for the younger generation, to get these assets. So if you think from the point of sale view as a physical object, you can always have the digital twin. And maybe, think about that, if you reward people with a digital twin, they might even favorize that. Because first, it doesn't take that much space. Second, you can show it to your friends. And especially if it looks very, very nice, also in the luxury sector, this is something that people take as valuable. So next step on the roadmap would be that we have this app and then you can mint it. And then you can decide what you get out of it in the end. So at the moment, unfortunately, you can download the app, you go to the App Store and you can go to Loyalty 3.0, you will find the app. This is not finished, but if you go to this QR code, you will see that you find like an application for a newsletter so that you will be informed as soon as it's out. And we hope that it will be within the next month. So I'm sorry we wanted to have it finished until today, but it will take a few weeks more. Yes, so here is, if the other scan didn't work well, for you to scan here. And I hope that with talking about this, I can tell you that it's not as complicated as it seems, also for bigger brands, to enter the space in a very simple and easy way and engage customers to be successful also for the future. Collaborate with others. I think this is the best time to also look for startups who are already into this. We have heard a lot of it about it also on digital fashion. Metabrew is behind you. You can always talk to them. And what I really love to see is that this community that we see in the space so far grows and gets to the mass market adoption. I would always say through the back door, because I don't really like to talk about NFTs as a technology, but more about the product and what you want to achieve with it. So yeah, if you want to follow me or get in touch with me, I'd be happy to. Tony, I don't know about the time. Do we have like time for 1 or 2 more questions? Yes? Okay. That's great, because I love to hear from you as well. This should be like a 2-direction and not the 1 direction we have seen at the beginning. So are there any questions? Because my time is over now. Thank you very, very much for listening, and please get in touch.
Thank you, Anna. Are there any questions? Questions? Don't be so shy. Come on.
Otherwise I'm totally in time. I made it. So
yeah, you're still in time. Yes, it's still green, right? Until it's green, everything's okay.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Any questions? Questions?
See, this is perfect, and I hope it's really all super clear and simple, because this is what we want to have in the end. Super clear, simple communication. I hope everybody understood everything. As I said, look out for Starbucks Odyssey or Wagner Pizza today for 2 examples from retailers who are getting into this with already existing loyalty programs. And enjoy, experiment, and hope to see you soon. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Anna.